We've been learning about key signatures, and we've been learning about the major scale. We know that the major scale is made up of a specific sequence of half steps and whole steps, and that if we start on other notes other than C, we have to add either sharps or flats in order to complete the sequence and have it sound like a major scale. We'll now learn how to quickly identify keys based on their letter names just from the sharps or flats that are given in the key signature. Remember that the key signature is a space at the very beginning of the music, usually next to the clef. In this case, there is nothing in that space, but here we have a different key signature, and this one is yet even a different key signature. We're going to learn to quickly identify these different types of key signatures. The first key that we're going to easily recognize on a regular basis is the key of C major. C major has no sharps or flats in the key signature. If you see nothing, it must therefore be C major. The next one to memorize is the only other one that you really have to memorize, and that is if there is a single B flat in the key signature, then it is always F major. You don't even need to remember that it's a B flat. If you see a single flat in the key signature, then you can memorize that it is the key of F major. Those two keys we really have to memorize because there are no shortcuts for them. We'll now learn the shortcut for recognizing any key signature that has sharps in the key signature. Key signatures with sharps in the key signatures are easy enough to recognize, but we need to be able to read the sharps from left to right in their order. You're going to identify the very last sharp in the order. It doesn't matter whether it's in the treble or in the bass. Read from left to right, find the very last sharp, and identify the name of that line or space that the last sharp is on. In this case, that note is a D. To identify the name of the key, we will need to go up to the next letter name in the alphabet. So this sharp is a D sharp, but when I go up to the next space, the name of that space is E. Same thing in the bass clef. This last sharp is on D sharp. I go up to the next space, the name of that space is E. The name of this key, therefore, is E major. This works even if there's only one sharp in the key signature, because obviously if there's only one sharp in the key signature, it is the last sharp. In this example here, we have a single F sharp. If I go up to the next space from F sharp, that will take me to this space above the staff, which is G. Again, in the bass clef, this single sharp is F sharp. I go up to the next space, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is G major. The same process can be used for all key signatures that use sharps in the key signature. Look at this sharp right here. Pause the video and see if you can identify the name of this key. Did you correctly identify this key as D major? The process would have been that you identified that that sharp was a C sharp and that the next line up is D. Therefore, this is D major. Pause the video and identify the next three key signatures. The process remains the same for each of these. If starting in the bass clef I identify this last sharp as G sharp, I go up to the next line and identify that this key signature is A major. This last sharp here is A sharp. Going up to the next note, the name of this key is B major. Did you get it correct? Let's look at the last one. Here's our last sharp. It's an E sharp. We go up to the next line, and that takes us to F. But if you put that the answer was F major, we actually made a little mistake, because this is a little tricky, because there is an F sharp in the key signature. Therefore, this key is not F major, but it is F sharp major. The sharp in the key signature makes it so that the name of the key has to be F sharp and not F natural. The bass clef should correspond. We have an E sharp that goes up to F, and again, because there is an F sharp in the key signature, we call it F sharp major.